Just reading something. Hold on. Almost there. What's up, everyone? Pretty funny. I'm reading some of the comments here. From the other night. Let's see here. Man, there's some hilarious comments in here. Anyways, let's see here. Been a while. Let's see here. What do we got here? Welcome, everyone. Taking your son to your driving lesson. Pray for you. That's pretty funny. That'd be all right. Frank, how many major chords before it gets hard? It's it's really interesting, this whole jazz players and major chords. There's a live bootleg I have of Metheny that it's interesting. I talk about Metheny a lot. He was the first. I had two kind of bridges into jazz when I was starting. One was the bebop that my dad listened to, and then the next was when I heard Metheny's music back in the 70s. And the same things that I liked about it back then, I still like about it. I wish I could play some of it. I mean, I can, but my video will get blocked. But the same things that I found it appealing then, it's exactly the same things that I like about it still. It's really, really incredible. Never tired of it. His sense of melody, the type of chords that he played, things like that. Just everything about it. And he played over major chords, and I never thought anything of it. That's just was. Then I realized when I started playing with jazz players, and I wrote my own tunes, and I had major chords in my tunes. I had minor chords, but I obviously had all different types of chords. But sometimes a major triad is what you need, and that's it. And that song for Bilbao, I know I've been corrected about 50 times on it. Apparently I misspelled it in the video too. He's one of the few people that can just play over these chords like that. That progression, F major, B flat major, E flat major, F major, D flat major, E flat major, F major, G major. And I just think it's fascinating. And when I said jazz kryptonite in the video, and by the way, everybody thank you that was on the other night and gave me the idea for the title, because the title is what got people to watch it. I don't know who came up with that, but it was a killer title. Anyways, Rick Beato on HBO or Showtime. Rick Beato live on HBO or Showtime. I should be on either one of those, I guess, or Netflix. What's up, Mad Strummer Dad? Good evening. So it bummed me out that I can't play the version that that is on the Matheny Group record because it's on ECM, you know. But I think that listening to that, Brecker playing over that, was really interesting. That he decided to record that song. And I know it's McCoy on there. I asked my knucklehead friend Pat. I said, "Are you sure you have the record? Are you looking at it?" Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's Joey Calderazzo on it. All right. I'm in my car driving. I was like, I got to put it in the video when I get back home. So I put the title in there, and I'm thinking, I'll go and watch a YouTube video of them playing that song live, and Joey's playing with the band live. And, I mean, he plays a lot of McCoy licks anyways. Plus the way that the verse is, the A section, all the kind of, chordal voicings that McCoy would play, Joey Calderazzo would play anyways. So, either way, I'm not surprised. But major chords are jazz kryptonite. Interesting to hear what Iden would play over those changes. Iden would play the exact right thing over those changes. Because Iden knows how to play over major chords. Matter of fact, I always found that fascinating that Iden could play over major chords and would always he could interweave the most. He could take a progression like that and play over it for an hour and never play the same thing. 2 hours. But people don't appreciate how difficult it is. So one knucklehead commented that what was, I'm trying to think here, something about how I wreck music, how it's so sad that I have to analyze things like this. It's so sad that I have to analyze it. And I wrote, the guy said, actually, the sad thing is that you think that I have to analyze it or something like that, that I don't have to analyze it because I know exactly what it is. What's sad is that you don't know what it is. And I had a really good insult for him. I can't remember what it was. I was trying to find it. I was talking to Rhett earlier, and I was trying to tell him. I said, "Oh man, I had the greatest insult," and then I couldn't find what it was. And I was talking to Aaron when I was responding to this guy, and Aaron's like, "Why do you care about stuff like this?" I said, "Because this is I get enjoyment out of this. This is I don't get to be creative like that with my insults. I mean, I have to keep my level of insults up, and the only way I do that is by responding to these. So, why give them your energy? Oh man, Matthew. I enjoy it. It's not, I don't give energy. It's, I enjoy it. Tom will tell you, Mr. Tom McGill will tell you that I enjoy, he knows because he reads my comments. He knows that I love this stuff. It's, I always try to outdo myself. I love it. I love trolls faithfully. I'm always trying to think of the best insult. This is actually something that my brothers and I would always do. Or I have a cousin named Dan Brown. Oh man, I wish I could get Dan on here. Someday I will. He's the funniest human being that I've ever met. He is. Everybody has a cousin like Dan, I'm sure, but Dan was this guy that was. Dan is probably how many years older than me? He must be 64 right now, but it's not that Dan Brown. He's the guy that never played on the football team, but could throw the ball 70 yards. He could kick a 60-yard field goal, but never played. He could hit a baseball 400 feet. He was a huge guy. It's my first cousin. And he was also hysterically funny. We go out and play golf, and I get up the first tee, and I hit the ball, and it goes in the other fairway. And he goes, they changed the hole? And anything. Did they change the hole? It's anything he would say would be hysterically funny. You're just so good at that. So we would always try to come up with the best insults. So that's why I enjoy trolling so much. But the people, the people that say, "Oh, it's sad that that you have to analyze this. You can't enjoy music because you have to analyze this," and it's interesting. It's like, well, actually, I don't need to analyze it because I know exactly what it is. So what's sad is that you think that I need to analyze it. I mean, geez, it's some major chords. Come on, bro, get it together. But I really don't. It's funny, though, because I actually don't think about it until I want to know what it is. And it's kind of like my son Dylan. When he, he doesn't think about stuff unless I ask him. He doesn't ever think about a chord or a note or anything. Does not ever... who is this guy? You could easily insult me, but you wouldn't give you my energy? Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, I don't know who you are, but fortunately, no one will ever have to see your comment again. Fortunately for them. Oof. I like oof. All right, Dean. I'm not even going to boom him. That was a low impact banhammer. That was a nonchalant. Oof is a Roblox thing. I should know that. Sledgehammer. So I have some good songs actually that I have some interesting what makes a song great. It's weird. I did Jane's Addiction. And I love Been Caught Stealing. People that say, "Oh God, I get so annoyed with there's way better songs than that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah, blah." It's like, shut up, man. But I got some Adele coming up. You guys know I love Adele. She's one of my favorite singers. I don't like her last record really, but I love the first two records. Phenomenal. But the getting back to the Matheny thing, the Brecker thing, I actually got, that was one of my biggest first day videos in views of any video that I've had. And it was a jazz video, which I have to thank you guys, because without the right title, I couldn't have made a jazz video that people actually clicked on. And it wasn't so esoteric that it. I think that it was instructive. But it's literally the biggest first day video that I've had. I mean, who would know? I've been doing these amplifier videos. Do I know Lost in Vegas? No, I don't know that. I don't think time of day is important, Bark Lord. It has nothing to do with it. Are people watching the entire video? Oh, I don't know. I don't look at that. The amp videos. Okay, so the amp videos. The first one I didn't get that many views in comparison. But I said this, I think, last week, that there's not good recordings on YouTube that are properly done with amplifiers that are properly mic'd, with people that can play their instruments, that are close mic'd with no EQ, that you can actually hear the sound and compare things that you want to buy. So I am doing this not as a way to get views, because these kind of videos don't get very many views typically. And a lot of people are not playing real amplifiers. But I just put the new video out with my AC30 against Rhett's Morgan AC20. And, you know, I'm not making a statement on which one. I say it's amp wars. We're just putting them up against each other. We're putting them next to each other, and then people can interpret however they want. But I think it's important to have these things out there. I think it's Neve Priest flat, no EQ, 2 different mics. I had both mics blended pretty much the same on both amps, the same level. So I placed I went in with my flashlight. I placed the speakers. I placed the mics and the speakers at exactly the same place. Obviously, with the AC30, you have 2 speakers, 2 12s, and I placed them on different speakers because you want to keep in mind this 3-to-1 ratio. Double K, thank you. I'm gonna stick with it, because it's fun, and eventually it'll be a resource. It'll be a resource because there needs to be resources, and I don't mean people that are doing pedal demos where people send you stuff and they do it for because they're getting paid to make demos or anything. I'm not getting paid I'm not getting paid to do any of this stuff or anything. I don't own a Morgan amp. I'm doing amps that I own. I'm comparing them, and if I buy something new, I'll try that out. Have I ever played an Ibanez? No, I don't know that. Ibanez is really bad, Ronald, with their naming. These things. TBX150H is a ridiculous name. Their names of their guitars are terrible, and I think Ibanez makes some really good guitars, but they're ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous. All their names of their guitars. Everything is absurd. You see, what about a Fender Princeton? You see that, Blake? Fender Princeton Reverb, Showman, Marshall Plexi, or, I mean, you don't put a bunch of numbers and letters and an X at the end. I mean, what kind of, it's ridiculous. Overly clinical, double K, exactly. Fender Champ. I mean, these are, come on. They don't, numbers and letters naming conventions doesn't help anybody. J-Bone, that is so true. The 150X is an amp. You see, Ronald, you can't even, I don't even know. I've never heard of it. The Carvin DC 127 sounds like a plane, C3PO. PV Classic, that's a good name. That's easy. Classic 50, Classic 30, whatever it was. My Orange Overdrive, okay? 5150. That's that's a catchy one. I mean, for one with numbers, but what do I got over here? Ampeg V4. That's a powerful name. J45. Simple, not TBX 150Z or whatever, I mean, go through the Ibanez category or catalog and look at their guitars. Look at the names of these things. I mean, I don't even know if you can find them. Let's see here. Ibanez guitars. The RPG. I mean, what is that? What is an RPG? Rocket propelled grenade, right? Ibanez guitars. Let's see here. Let's look at some of the model numbers here. Okay, here we go. The first ones I pull up. RG1070PBZ. Okay? This is literally the first thing that comes up on here. RG1070PBZ. The next guitar. This is the first thing that comes up for sales when I type in Ibanez guitars on Google. Next one. RGR752AHBF. I swear to God, that is the number. The next one, RG652AHM. The next one, GRG120ZWGIO. I swear to God, that is the name. The next one, ESP LTD KHWZ. That's an ESP guitar. Ibanez AE 2412. Ibanez JS24P. I guess that's Joe Satriani. Ibanez RG IB6 iron label baritone. This is horrible. Come on, guys. Here's another one. RGAIX7FM. I mean, I know planes aren't that, but Boeing 747. My God. That's why no one knows anything about Ibanez guitar. People play Ibanez guitars. If they would rename their guitars, I saw that, Subi. That's pretty good. Jari, Japanese love numbers. Man, they love letters too. Marshall stack and a high watt stack, Tom. That's right. A double K, it would be Satch or something like that. Yeah. Why shouldn't it be Satch, the Satch something? You guys could come up with names. I'm Japanese, and I think those numbers refer to the price in yen. It's probably true. There's an Ibanez dubstep guitar. Someone joked. The SKR111EX Skrillex. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. What you're listing is what you'd say if you were trying to make up a crappy number for a guitar. Right. You have an Ibanez S470. Okay, that's not bad. This is absurd, right? I had to do a guitar video on this. Come on, Ibanez, get it together. My God. All I got to do is, that's the video right there. Just me reading their stupid numbering system. Man. Trying to sell something, make it memorable. My God. Oh. Their guitars come with password ideas. Man, you could never... honestly, I remember I called one of my friends who sells guitars, and I said, man, can you explain to me what the difference between Ibanez guitars are? And then he starts explaining to me, well, the RG series is blah blah blah, and the blah blah blah. And you guys know I have a good memory, but I could not remember any of this stuff. Introducing the RB1. That's what it needs to be, right, Ron? The RB1. Ibanez secret codes to unlocking the universe. You have an RG. I don't know the numbers. It's a pointy Strat. I had an RG, hated it. Okay. Plug in an Ibanez name into your GPS and it'll take you to their factory. Try that amp if you ever come across them. You'll dig it. Interesting. If Ibanez had to name the Beato book, it would be RB402. There you go. Ibanez custom Beato Studio. It sounds like license plates. That's what it does. It will. It does sound like license plates. They do sound kind of like license plates. My God, they're all like this. RG Micro GRGM21. This is, oh my God. ESP LTD Kirk Hammett. Okay, that's ESP. They got that. That's perfectly fine. And I mean, some of these guitars are $2,000. Man, who's working in marketing over there? And I know it's ridiculous. I'll check that out. TBX 150H. My God. TBX 150H. I'm going to look it up here. Hold on. Ibanez. TBX 150H. Came up. Okay. I want to see if I've seen these. Oh, I've seen these. Okay. It's a solid state. Solid state head, right? Yeah, I've seen these before. $130. Man, 150 watt head. $139 used. Wow. 600 for the half stack. S for models S. I mean, Oscar, come on. This is the first 1 to 3 letters of model. Generally the series which it belongs. And that's completely idiotic. The Beato Club. How's the Beato Club? Well, I'm not sure. The Beato Club could be doing way better if you guys were all in it here. There's 152 people right there. How many people are belong to the Beato Club? I'll have another video up there tomorrow, instructional video, and then I'm going to have all the tunes of people that I give feedback on. Those will all be up this week as well, in the next 2 days or so. Why the signature model is so expensive? I'm not sure. Is that a question? Chops, there you go, man. I think you asked me a question before who my favorite comedian was. Was that it? Ibanez was sued when they were sued. I think it was Ibanez that were making the Les Paul copies back in the 70s. Am I thinking of that, or they were too close? My favorite channel on YouTube, even though he makes fun of my amp model number. There you go. Canceling Audible. There you go, Rick B. Love it. Who's my favorite comedian? I have to think about that. I have to think about that. I liked George Carlin. I was never a Bill Cosby fan. I like Jerry Seinfeld a lot, and I like Richard Pryor. What have I been watching? I do watch Jerry Seinfeld, his comedian and getting coffee in cars or whatever it's called. I like Stephen Wright. He was hilarious. What are some great spots to check out? Nashville, Daniel? I don't know. I never go anywhere when I go to Nashville. I'm always going. I love Dave Chappelle. I never go anywhere in the only thing I ever do, I've never been to Gruen's Guitars in Nashville. I've never been to Fork's Drum Closet, which is really amazing that I've never been to these places, and I love these kind of places. Does anybody have any connection to Ludwig on here? Anybody had a Ludwig endorser? Anybody? Love Rodney Dangerfield and Don Rickles. Okay, now I'm starting to think of them. I like old school comedians. That's my friend Pat calling me. I'm mad at him. God. You got that McCoy Tyner thing wrong. Maybe you should get musos in the car getting coffee. It would definitely involve getting coffee and driving. Let's see. What's up, David? Jonathan Winters. Oh, yeah. Old school. Philip. Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Bill Burr. I remember the Starbucks live stream. Wait, did I? Oh, yeah, the Starbucks live stream. That was for, what was that for? Was that 300,000 subscribers? I can't even remember now. Didn't I do a 5-hour live stream from The Honeymooners? I did watch, Double K, one of my favorite shows. I love The Honeymooners, and I love Hogan's Heroes. The 5-hour stream I did at Starbucks, but for what was it for, though? I think it was for the 300,000 subscribers, maybe. I don't even remember. It's been so long that maybe it was 200,000. I think it might have been 200,000, something like that. 5-hour stream because it took forever to get to 200,000. I'm about to get up to 500,000. So I'd say I just hit 478,000. I just noticed it when I was logging in here. And I would say probably in 2 weeks I'll hit 500,000. Something like that. Oh God, Ronald, please. They sound like Zeppelin. They don't sound like Zeppelin. They sound like Zeppelin if you've never listened to a Zeppelin record. Jeez, they sound like Zeppelin. Come on, man. First of all, why would you want to sound... you haven't heard me being asked about them? No, only about 1,000 times. But this is like 6 months ago. They must have had a publicist out there pumping the Zeppelin crap about this. I mean, God, why would you mimic a band like that you just can't even mimic? Why do you want to mimic anyone? Brother. Um, even Robert Plant sounded like he was probably being nice. You know, he's probably being nice. Just like somebody showing Robert Plant some little kid playing a John Bonham thing. And why does Robert Plant care about that? You know? It's ridiculous. Thank you, Thomas. They try to sound like Zeppelin. No, he's saying they're a ripoff. Oh, well, there you go. Anybody mentioned that band again? Yeah. Um, Plant rolled his eyes when they were mentioned. There you go. He probably gets sick of hearing about it too. My God. Oh, brother. That's okay, Ronald. You don't know. But it was would Zeppelin make it today? No, of course not. No. Jimi Hendrix would never make it today. No chance. They wouldn't. Now, would people be playing today if they, like they do, if there was no Hendrix and no Page and no, Eddie Van Halen, people like that? Would they play like that? You know, you can't go back in time and ask these questions, though. You can think about them. You think that's crazy talk? You think Zeppelin would make it today? They would. No, there's no chance they would make it. I'll tell you why. Because no one would care about it. That's why nobody knows Greta Van Fleet except for people that come on this live stream here. If I look up Greta Van Fleet, let's see here. Let me see. Let me look at. Do they have a YouTube video out? Let's see here. Let's see here. Greta Van Fleet. Okay, so I type Greta in, they come up. Let's see here. 21 million views. Okay, so here we go. It's on Vivo. Highway Tune. I know that tune. Love this. As mentioned, this fills the void for me that Zeppelin left. 21 million views. Okay. 22 million views. And Despacito, 4 billion views. 21 million views is 21 million views is not a lot of views for a band. That a band that's on Vivo, right? Vivo is a channel that that has commercial major label records on it. So if you do the numbers, Green Day is 15 billion. Well, you got to look at their single songs. I mean, that song has 22 million views on it, but but you can't ever go back and say, would this band make it today? Because you'd have to discount history. Yeah, Vivo is a channel that major record labels put together. That's correct. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it. Despacito isn't a bad song. I didn't say anything about Despacito being a bad song or not. I didn't say anything about I didn't say anything about. I mean, I don't care. I mean, Greta Van Fleet. I don't feel one way or the other about, to be honest with you. Bad Barbie's video is up to 113 million views. She has 5 million YouTube subscribers. Well, there it is. That's why 22 million views on a video is not very many. Because her thing didn't even do well, and it has over 100 million views. Charlie says, people don't have good musical flavor, taste. Yeah. Unfortunately, your generation likes repetitive sounds. It's sad in your opinion. Yeah. Let's see here. What would a band make it today as good subject? Would a band make it today as a good subject for video? That is a great subject for a video, Daniel. That is a great subject. Tom, you have 100 views on one of your arrangements. You deserve way more than 100 views, Tom. My studio is wired with Megami cable. Would the Beatles make it today? No, of course not. They wouldn't make it. No, I mean, I'm joking about this. I'm joking because it's impossible to say. I will say this, that the Police would make it today. The Police would absolutely make it today. They'd have to shorten a couple of their arrangements. I've said this on here before. Take out you have to go with a low attention span. Low attention span crew out there. Greta Van Fleet is doing something right. They're the main topic in every live stream lately. Just because people that want to have some new band that's like Led Zeppelin or something mentions them, that's the only reason that they're out there. But that's it, because people bring them up, and everybody that brings them up attaches Led Zeppelin to it. That's the problem. Right? They don't say, oh, how original they are. Where are the people talking about this original band? Would Rush make it today? No chance. I don't think they would make it. Would the Stones make it? Probably not. No way. Of course not. Luke, why am I hating? What am I hating, Luke? Back off. Just kidding. You happen to love the band. Great. I love, I love jazz, and nobody else loves jazz, right? The Black Crowes were fairly close to classic Zeppelin. No, they weren't. Totally disagree. I never ever thought of the Black Crowes having any Zeppelin reference at all. Keith Richards' YouTube channel. You think there will be another Woodstock? I don't know. Well, I love jazz too, but what can we do to ensure the survival of music? We can survive. When all the clueless millennials wearing Nirvana t-shirts help them make it today. Nirvana could make it today for sure, but the problem is that you can't go back in time, because would Nirvana make it today? Well, music would have unfolded completely differently. There would have been no grunge movement without Nirvana. There needed to be a band to coalesce around, and Pearl Jam was not that band. Kurt Cobain had a unique. He was what's the term that I like to say? They were one band that people, that critics liked and regular people liked. Very few people have that distinction. And he was critic proof, meaning that critics never. The only bad review you ever read about Nirvana was the 3.5 stars in Rolling Stone that the guy wished that he had taken back, that wrote the article. But I like to equate Eminem with. I think that Eminem is very similar to Kurt Cobain. He was critic proof at the time, and people were afraid of him. He had this way of dismissing people that people were kind of afraid of, and people were afraid of Kurt Cobain bashing their bands. You know, when Kurt bashed Pearl Jam, they were bummed about it. You know, because they respected him. So. Yeah, that's a big thing. Eminem had his time. He did, yeah. What with the Ramones? I don't think so. If I make a video about this, I'd have to give my reasons. I probably have to do. How many bands would I talk about? Would I name 5 bands and say that? And say, would these 5 bands make it today? What does it even mean to make it today? Well, that you'd have to define that, Luke, right? I mean, that's really that's really that's the thing. What does that mean? Would they make it today? Would they have a platinum record today? Would they? Well, people don't have platinum records anymore. No, 5 bands. No, 5 bands. What? Bands before their time. That's a whole nother 10,000 because it will be a series. Oh, it totally could be a series, wouldn't it? You couldn't come out today because it's already been done, right? Music heroes rise up to represent the values of each generation. Generational values change. Progress moves forward. These bands were great, but not so relevant to current society. That's true. Would John Cage make it today? John Cage didn't make it back when he was, when he was, at the peak of his popularity. He was still a fringe figure. There are many bands that belong in that series. YouTube classics, old school, if they come back. Means expanding outside your natural fan base. To get big means your cultural force played on TV and radios, and your parents hate you. So no rock bands will ever get big again. Helium, that's great. That is great. That's I'm gonna save your comment there. That's funny. That's right. John Cage survived on grants. Lasting bands change with the times. That's very true. That's very true. Everybody changed. When disco happened, the Grateful Dead made their disco record, and people did, the Bee Gees became a disco band, Bands just changed when music changed. Billy Joel made his punk rock new wave record, They all did. Like arguing with you on your eruption video, you had to be there. It was my mind blowing. Of course, they're not gonna to blow your mind in 2018. Are there any bands you think that could make it today that maybe didn't get as big as they could have during their time? Well, that's a whole nother. Yeah, Shakedown Street, Double K. That was the Grateful Dead's disco record. That's right. The Stones took a pass. Everybody took a pass at disco. People made new wave records. They did. They just did, you know. And it was cool that they did that, you know, because you'd see their take on these things. Um, um, maybe a lot of dancey disco bands could be more popular today. Did any hair bands try their hand at grunge? You know, you could argue that that Alice in Chains was a hair band, kind of, at the beginning, um, and became a grunge band. But um, 80s pop, new wave. Yeah. So Billy Joel, what's the matter? What was that record? Um, Come on, what's Billy Joel's uh, new wave record? It came out in '79. Glass Houses. There we go. Thank you, Double K. Um, War at 96 was attempted. Yeah, Glass Houses. That's right. Still rock and roll to me. That's the song I was just singing, right? Um, let's see here. I like the Would They Make It Today? That's going to be a new series. I like that. Um, You May Be Right. That was another tune from that. You may be right, I may be crazy. And Billy played guitar on it. You know? Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young could play the folk scene today. Absolutely true. Miro, you loved Amp Wars. Okay. They don't get a lot of views, but I don't care. It's fun. That's one of my fun things. Michael Jackson would have trouble today because he didn't use autotune. Michael Jackson would use autotune today if he were starting out. Who likes Amp Wars that's seen my Amp Wars videos? Anybody? I want to see on here who on here has watched any of my Amp Wars videos and likes them. Rick will never run out of ideas for videos. I will never run out of ideas, J-Bone. You know, I won't run out of ideas because I just get on here and ask you guys. Let's see here. Love Amp Wars. Yeah, you haven't, Philip. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. You know, that's actually a perfect song to do. I got to see if I have the song. So yeah, so I have a new Amp Wars video that just came out. All of you that are on here should go watch my video right now. I've been an Ableton Live guy since Ableton Live came out in 2001. Believe it or not, I used Ableton Live on a PC that I have in the other room here. That I've had Ableton forever. I used Ableton before anybody that I know was using Ableton. I did all of my percussion loops and things like that. I did loops in Ableton all the time back in the early 2000s. I have a little thing that my brother built called a Cube. It ran Windows 98 on it, I think, and I had Ableton loaded on that, and so so Ableton. I own Ableton. I use Ableton. I love Ableton. So there you go. Are you surprised? I own Vegas and Vegas Pro as well, and I own I have Reaper too. I've used Reaper. I pretty much have used every DAW. Pretty much have. I mean, RHYS. What is that? Rees. It's interesting because I haven't done a lot of DAW stuff, and one of the reasons that I haven't done a lot of it is because I didn't know how to do screen capture, but I'm an expert at screen capture now. Do a low-do amp war. I don't do low-do. If you're going to spend the big bucks, Rick, low-do you can go to any Guitar Center and play and hear yourself. I'm doing things that are expensive that people, when you want to hear a Sun Model T amp, okay, and you want to know what the version 1 sounded like, then, if you want to buy some vintage amp and you want to hear a good demo of it, I want to have these things on there. Did I ever have a Fostex X15? Of course I did. Low Do is for Glenn Fricker videos. That's probably right. I don't know. Is that for Glenn's videos? Glenn wrote to me and said that he wanted to do a video. We should do a video together. I wrote him back. I said, "Cool, man. I think your videos are really. I think you're really funny in your videos." And then he never wrote me back. I said, "I'd love to do it," because I think how when he freaks out and stuff, I love that. Let's see here. Blackface versus Silverface. There you go. A Portaflex B15. So I have a B15 that my friend built based on a 64 B. I think it's based on a 64 B15. And I was talking to my friend who built it about doing a comparison video with my friend's amp that he built. Glenn is in Windsor. Is he in Windsor, Canada? Is that right? Used to go through Windsor all the time. You have a modern Portaflex rig and they sound great. One of the reissue ones, Helium, because they look like they're really expensive, but they look like they're well built. How about a video series and guitar rigs used in famous classic songs? Do I have any videos on voicings of jazz guitar? Oh my God, I've got hundreds of videos. Dumble Clone Shootout. These amp videos, like I said, they are going to just be reference videos for people that want to know that. Thoughts on Guthrie Govan? I love Guthrie. I just talked about him in a video. How about making high quality samples of my amps to be used in VSTs for recording? Let's see, solid state. Listen to Strawberry Girls. I'll love them. Okay. That says he's played every amp I have. No, definitely he's not. No chance. He does not. He has not played. I know an amp right there that he's not played. No way. No chance that he's played. I've got a Randall amp that he's never plugged in. He's never played my 6505. Guaranteed. He's never played through my V4. Maybe he has that. No, I don't think he has. What do we hear from Carmen again? I got to call Carmen. Okay, so this is, I'm good for tonight. Go watch my video now. Get it some views here. Go turn on my AMP video, even if you're not going to watch it. Go open up your browser and turn it on so it gets a lot more views right now. Because I put it out pretty late tonight. You know, I've been getting a lot of dislikes on this channel. I noticed that. I got 7 dislikes on the last video. I got 7 dislikes on my Aunt Penny video that I played. Link, Eric, come on. When you need a link, it's on my main channel. It just came out. Anyways, there's people that'll complain about everything, even my Aunt Penny. You guys are great. All right, we'll talk. I'm going to do Shoegazer. The song for Bilbao was a win. I like that. Okay. What's up, Brian?